Hello Grape family. Apologies for missing the previous recap video. I will try to pack everything into this video. So make sure you watch the video till the end. Today we will extensively talk about Vinium, winemaker game. We will also talk about the strategies that you can follow in any of these presses. And lastly, a few things regarding the Grape casino and the Grape ecosystem as a whole. Without wasting any further time, let's get started with this video. Let's start with the Grape token. Grape is sitting at $0.037 and it seems to have continued its downtrend. It would be quite difficult to reach peg, but definitely doable. The reason that I say it would be difficult to reach peg is because Grape is a loose token. If it pumps a lot, then we'll see a lot of swing traders who will take profits. But let's not give up and let's keep our hopes up. That's it for the Grape token. Let's now take a look at the share token. Wine, after reaching $6.5, followed Grape and had a downtrend, after which it fell to $3, and right now it seems to have been consolidating in the range of $3. Market cap is sitting at $155,000 with a liquidity of $77,000. That is all for the Grape token as well as the wine token. It's time to take a look at the NFT collection of Grape Finance. And for some reason these NFTs wouldn't load on my screen. If you have a solution, please reach out to me. Anyways, the floor price is sitting at 0.93 AVAX and hasn't moved a lot in the previous 2 weeks. The total listed count is sitting at 68. LB has mentioned that the winery NFT collection will always be a VIP collection for Grape Finance, and therefore we might see some much awaited utility for the winery NFT collection. That is all for the winery NFT collection. Let's now move on to the vintners NFT collection. That's quite weird. The floor price says not available and the price from lowest to highest doesn't seem to work. Anyways, we all know that the floor price of the vintners has been stable for quite some time. So my bet is that the floor price would be around 1 AVAX. If I'm wrong, please mention it in the comments. We have a lot to talk about the winemaker game, but before that, let's go back to the homepage of Grape Finance and discuss the presses. Before talking about how the presses have been performed in the past 2 weeks, let's first talk about the best strategy in the presses. The difference between the wine press and the other two press is that compounding doesn't increase your APR in the wine press, but compounding in these two presses will increase the rate at which you are paid back your rewards and therefore increasing the APR. What would be the best strat in the presses? Well, according to LB, the man himself, the best strategy would be to sit in the pool and let the actions of others increase your rewards. But what exactly does this mean? Well, the actions of others, that is claiming and depositing. As you all know, claiming and depositing has a fee in all of the presses. This fee goes back to the backing of the shares of the presses. As of right now, one share is worth $12 in the wine press. And due to the fees, this backing will always go up. With time, for one share, you will always get back more LPs than you used to. Keep in mind that the shares are valued in the LP tokens and not in the dollar value. So the dollar value of the LPs can go down, but one share would be always be valued more compared to the previous day in the LP tokens. One strategy I would advise you against is claiming and then redepositing in the presses. You will take a loss by following this strategy because of the taxes. There is a claim tax of 10% and a deposit tax of 10%. So following this strategy would mean you would lose 20% of your rewards. If you still have any doubts, please go to the Discord of Grape Finance and ask any of the team members or moderators. Alright, with the strategy out of the way, let's now talk about how the presses have performed. The contract balance in the wine press 2 weeks ago was sitting at 7,000 wine meme LP tokens. And right now, the contract balance is sitting at 6,700 wine meme LP tokens. So definitely not a significant decrease in the contract balance. As far as I can tell, this has been one of the most sustainable utilities in Grape finance. That's all for the wine press. Let's take a look at the soda press. 2 weeks ago, the contract balance in the soda press was slightly below 200,000 X Grape LP tokens, and in the past 2 weeks, the contract balance has now increased to 201,000 Grape LP tokens. Those are roughly worth around $70,000. And from this video, let us track how much one share is valued in LP tokens. One share in the soda press is worth 4.97 Grape LP tokens. Let's now move on to the final press, that is the solera press. The solera press contract balance hasn't seen any significant move in the contract balance. And right now the contract balance in the solera press is sitting at 20 million S vintages token. One share in the solera press is worth around 29.48 S vintage token. That is all for the presses, the tokens and the NFTs. Let's now talk about what was discussed in the previous AMA. Let us start off by talking about the winemaker game. By the way, we now have badges for winemaker game players in Grape Finance's Discord. Let's talk about when new tools will be available for auction. The auctions for the floor cocker is going to come soon, and it is going to be same as the last time. After which we will have another round of auction that will have a burn mechanism for the existing tools. So a potential supply decrease for the existing tools. With this out of the way, let's talk about where winemaker is heading. LB has mentioned that he is not going to do too many small things for the winemaker game, and I'll tell you why this is a good news. It is a good news because we have some big plans for winemaker game. There is going to be a whole new game that will be a bit more flexible than the current game. There will be a slightly different mechanics, and lastly, there will also be a live version. We might have something like Farmville type of game where you need to manage things rather than what it is now. So that will be a huge revamp in my opinion. The game would have features where it would enable us to build on top of. Anyways, I got a bit too excited, but that is all for the winemaker game. Let's now talk about everyone's favorite utility, that is daddy utility. And by that I mean vinium. Vinium. Where do I start? The total market size in the main market is $95,000. The isolated market size is $15,000. So what's that? 95,000 plus $15,000. Wow, quick maths. That's $110,000 worth of TVL in Vinium Finance. Please don't make fun of my math skills. Anyways, we all know that a new DEX is launching on the AVEX platform named Glacier Finance. It is from our beloved friend Lame Hillbilly. An important fact to remember is that Lame Hillbilly's feet pics would be used as collateral in Vinium. Yep, you heard me correct. On a serious note, Glacier Finance will have their own token, and that token would be used as collateral in Vinium. I guess LB and Lame Hillbilly are going to give us Lambos. One of the LB's favorite protocol, after Grape and Vinium of course, is Frax Finance. So a question stands. Would we see Frax token or the Frax share token in Vinium? We might see those tokens in Vinium. No spoilers as of right now. Lastly, when Aave or Banky yield bearing assets in Vinium? Soon, my degen friends, soon. A major update is going to come to the isolated markets of Vinium Finance. LB has mentioned that the isolated pools are getting reworked, so we might see more tokens in the isolated pools moving on. Now, let's talk a bit about the Vini token. There's still few months or at least 1 or 2 months before we see the launch of the Vini token. If you didn't know, Vini token will be used to incentivize liquidity, and more liquidity means more lending and borrowing, which generates more fees for the protocol, which then can be shared with the Vine and the Vini token holders. Multi-chain updates are as follows. Vinium is already live on the Arbitrum mainnet, but it isn't open for public yet. That public launch is going to come soon in my opinion. Secondly, the ZK Sync has opened closed developers mainnet for protocol to test on. I think it's pretty obvious Vinium is going to go there too. Their mainnet launch for the public could take a few months, so I guess we will have to wait for a few months to use Vinium on the ZK Sync net. Anyways, I think this was a buttload of information for Vinium. Let's now talk about Grape Finance ecosystem as a whole for a minute, and then we'll end the video. An upcoming decentralized exchange on the AVEX platform, launched by our beloved friend Lame Hillbilly. When this DEX launches, that is on the February end or in the beginning of March, we might see some much awaited incentivizing for Grape meme LPs in the Glacier DEX. So you all better get your Grape meme ready to stake it in the Glacier Finance. Okay, moving on. We all know that LB is in Dubai to promote Vinium along with Grape Finance. Everyone in the team is working very hard behind the scenes. We are getting infrastructure ready, and that is why LB is attending all those conferences in Dubai. And no, he's not there for partying, he's there for attending conferences. You better get some girls, LB. LB is talking to a few funds, or you could say market makers, for liquidity, so we can leverage those things when we launch the Vini token. That will increase our liquidity. These funds will increase our liquidity, and they might just possibly invest in the protocol as well. We do have other plans for Grape, but let's keep that for another weekly update video. That is all for this week's AMA recap. Thank you for watching, and I hope to catch you again next week.